Thanks. Well, Troels Vang, thank you very much for this interview and how you feel after few weeks after the mission.
I feel really good about the mission. We had a extremely successful mission. It's not it's not typical for a mission like that to go so much as planned as it did, because when you are ferrying six fighter jets over such a large distance with so many stops, there's an infinite number of things that can go wrong or can actually so many problems can occur. So we had a short time frame. We had a very good plan and very good partners to execute the plan. But there was an enormous sense of success after the completion because it all went, I would say, almost perfect.
Good. Let's start from the beginning. How was the process to be selected for this Peace Condor mission, which is not a typical mission for a F-16?
So the situation right now in Denmark is, of course, that we are transitioning from the F-16 to the F-35. So there's not that many pilots left on the F-16. And last year, because most of them have already started to fly the F-35. So among the ones that were left, we tried to make a select group of pilots that are both very experienced on the F-16, and also we brought a couple of the younger pilots. So a couple of the young pilots to give them the chance to experience something great, a very special mission. So for them to experience that would be a good boost for the young pilots. So that's what was one of the plans, to bring a couple of young pilots. Um, and then to kind of make a mix of very experienced and some younger pilots as well, to make more of a team that was not all the same pilots. So when you mix it up a little bit, you also get new inputs and perspective on things. So it's a good mix of different pilots, but majority was the senior pilots with a lot of experience, because you never know what's going to happen when you do a mission like that.
From the moment that you and the rest of the pilots were selected, how long did it take the process, from beginning to the end, the training?
Well, flying the jet over that long distance is not something that actually requires any specific training. Most of us have done very long missions before. So for the experienced pilots, we have tried long missions before. So one of the big things to prepare the younger pilots that have not tried long missions is to tell them how it actually works when you are in a very small cockpit for 7 hours. Some very basic things about seat position, how do you say that in like if you have to go to the bathroom
Yes,
in a
yes,
pilot.
yes, your human
So
needs.
so all of those very basic things to the flying part is not that difficult, because we're just flying after an average fuel tanker or just by ourselves. So the flying part is not difficult, but it's actually all the other aspects of the mission, fatigue, all the new things of flying to different countries with civilian agencies and all that stuff. But most of the preparation is actually flight planning. So there's so much that goes into coordination
Yes.
with. We had a lot of coordination, of course, because there were three nations involved. So the Argentinian Air Force was um, had the main role of the being kind of the chief of the mission, and of course the mission cannot go without U.S. support with air refueling. So they had a very big part of it as well. So the coordination between three countries' air force to make timing and scheduling for the mission, that took a lot of time and a lot of preparation. And again, so what you see when we fly across Buenos Aires, you look up and you see 6 jets in perfect formation and everything looks good and people are cheering, but that is the 1% of the mission. That is that part. It's the part that everybody sees, and of course they see the parade afterwards, the president, and all that stuff, because that's the thing that goes on media. They don't see all the mechanics working all night long to get a new engine into a jet, for instance. They don't see like the young pilots sitting with the computer changing routes because there's a new plan all of a sudden. There's a weather system coming in. There's the meteorologist is helping us out with the plans, and also the search and rescue team. So for the crossing of the Atlantic, we had an Argentinian Hercules C-130 with a search and rescue team flying behind. They were also in Denmark giving us briefings on how they would do if they had to rescue out of the water. So in case we had a catastrophic emergency and we had a downed jet and a downed pilot, there was a plan in effect to how they would do the rescue operation of dropping out inflatable rafts into the Atlantic for us to crawl into, and how the communications plan, satellite telephones, and all. There's a huge umbrella behind the guys in the front. So there's a large organization in place to run a mission like this.
Yeah, that was actually my question. How many of the ground crew were involved?
The ground crew is both the logistics sides, especially our mechanics, but also just the administration planning around moving a large detachment halfway around the world is many people involved. So first of all, the mechanics behind making the jets ready, making the Hercules, the Boeing transport, and all the other jets able to fly is, of course, that's without them succeeding, all the rest will fail. So that's a very big part of the mission. And I think size-wise, if we have an operational detachment with pilots and mission planners and stuff, we might be 20 people. Then you have on the logistics and mechanics side, you have 100 people. So the organization on that side is so much bigger because there's many more jobs. And so that's a very big part of it. So I think I think on this mission, the entire detachment was around 100 people. Involved in everything. And also we have a lot of help from dedicated mission planners that helps us develop routings, flight plans and stuff that we put into the jet when we go fly. So, and because it's such a long flight, the different legs of the flight, for instance, from Denmark to Spain, Spain to Canarias, and onto Brazil, they are separate planning legs. So we have different routes that have to be loaded for the legs of the mission. So it's a very complex mission. And the most planning goes into what if. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if we have to land somewhere else? What if we have to divert into Africa? So on the way down there's so many situations that if everything goes as smooth as it did, luckily, it's the easiest thing in the world because you just fly there and everything is perfect. But every time something unexpected happens, you have to have a plan for it. Because when you sit in a jet with not a lot of fuel, you need to be aware of if it happens on this part of the route, we go there. This is the plan. 2 jets go there. The rest continue here. We have 3 air refueling aircraft there. So, and they are very much into that process as well. They kind of own the formation when they are when we join with them. So there's a lot of pre-briefings, plannings, briefings, and coordination going on.
What about the Denmark Air Force? How many
Yes.
pilots do they have on duty? And did you have a chance to share experiences between the both air forces?
Yes. So Denmark is actually it's a small air force, and Argentina is getting all of our jets now, what we have left. So the 24 F-16s is what we have left after we donated 19 for the Ukraine war. So it's all of our jets, and it's a small air force. So I think we have around maybe 60 pilots on the 60 to 80 pilots on the fighter community. So not a lot of pilots, and I think the we had many meetings with our Argentinian colleagues, and they were also at our base in Skrydstrup a lot of times to see the simulator, to see the system. So we had a lot of chances to communicate and exchange points of view and also experience to see, because many of the pilots that are going to fly the F-16 are experienced pilots on other aircraft. So they are actually good pilots, and of course they had some experiences on how they normally do things. So we could talk about that, and we had a chance to prepare them for, okay, when you get the F-16, this is some of the main points you need to be focused on, how it is to operate, and what kind of airstrips you need to use, and all those things involved in running an air force with F-16s. So we
Before
had time
be- before
before.
the F-16, what other aircraft did you have a chance to flight?
I have flown the F-16 my entire operational life.
Wow.
Yes, we have had them for this Sunday. It's 46 years ago that we got the first F-16. And I know in Argentina, there's also been people saying that, oh, it's an old jet, and why are we getting this old jet? You are correct. Some of the jets are old in frame, but the great thing about the F-16 and the F-16 weapon system is it has been evolving all the time. So the jet is the same, but it has been reinforced, of course, the frame. It's a brand new engine that's in the jet, and all the avionics systems that make up the main part of a fighter jet, all the stuff you use for warfare, is brand new. It's new, and it's been updated. Most of it, not brand new, everything, but it's been updated every year. And I think the last update we had is one of the newest ones on the F-16, which was updated 2 years ago. So it might be the same jet, but it's nothing like the jet we received 40 years ago. It's very good, very capable fighter jet.
Do the Denmark Air Force always have F-16s, or do they have different aircraft
We have had
fighter?
we have Yeah, we have had different aircraft in the Danish Air Force. So when we got the F-16, we also had the Saab Draken, and before that we had the Starfighter, the F-104. So we've had a mix of air-to-air fighters and also reconnaissance bombing aircraft as well. So we've had a little bit of each, and then of course the F-16 is multi-role, so it can be deployed in both air-to-air, air-to-ground, and other roles as well. So that's what I think is the great thing about the F-16 is the multi-role, the capabilities. There's almost no mission that the F-16 can't do pretty good. It's not an expert in a specific mission, but it's more like an all-round jet capable of all the missions out there. So, but before that, we had the Dragon and we had the Starfighter. And back in the day of just around World War II, we also had some not Starfighters, some Spitfires,
Okay.
created by the US back then, starting up the Air Force. So a lot of experience flying different things.
Um, what about the red flag exercise? Have you
The red
ever
flag.
been to one?
Yes, yes, I have been. I have been a couple of times to the red flag exercise. And for those that don't know what the red flag exercise is, It's one of the biggest military exercises in the US in the Nevada desert, very close to Las Vegas. Um, and I've been on a couple of them. And when you say a big exercise, it involves more than 100 aircraft in the same time area. So it's a very large exercise. It's famous exercise for making joint operations or COMEOs as we call them. So coordinated missions with many different players involved. So it's a very demanding exercise, and it's a very good exercise um, for all involved, um, especially for coordinating and combining forces between different countries.
Yes. And have you always wanted to fly an F-16, being a fighter pilot?
I think so now, because I'm very old. But no, in the beginning, I didn't. I think right out of school, I wanted to be a lawyer or something like that. But during my during my time as a basic soldier, like a conscript, you draw numbers to serve in Denmark. And I served when I was very young, I served in the army, and I was starting university after that. And at one exercise at the end of my time in the army, there was some F-16s flying by, and then I was kind of fascinated by that, and I applied as a pilot at the same time as I started university. So I had a year and a half at university before going through all the tests to become a pilot, and then they offered me to start up on the flying school. So I took a break from university and said, okay, I'll give it a try, because I know uh, back then there was a lot of, I think the rate was about 20% that passed flying school. So there was a big chance of not going through flying school. So I thought, take that experience and see if it works or not.
See what happens. Yes.
I could
And
always go back to university, right?
yes, of course. Yes, always. So what's the future for you now?
The future for most of the pilots in Danish Air Force is the F-35. So we have this Sunday we have a farewell flight of the F-16s for the public. So and they have been flight down to the airbase to see a jet up close and just see from all the years of the F-16. So it's kind of like an official farewell to the F-16. And then after that, most of the operational pilots will transition to the F-35.
You too?
Yes, that's the plan.
Good for you. I want to watch this clip with you together and tell me what you feel now.
Deben ser F-16 de la Fuerza Aérea Argentina. Que tengan buenos días. Un honor estar en la ciudad de Buenos Aires y una gran alegría servirles después de ataque. Muchas gracias, caballero. Un gran abrazo a todos. Espero que estén disfrutando tanto como nosotros. Nike fuera.
So
It's a great
after the entire nation have seen this clip, many young cadets from the Air Force are watching the sky and dreaming of becoming a fighter pilot. What's
That's good.
the
Glad
message?
to hear that. Yeah, well, that is the thing a flyby like that can do to people, right? Because it is impressive. It is. I still, after all these years, when I see the fighter jets in the sky, I still look up, even though I've seen it a million times. And I like that. I enjoy that, and I feel a sense of pride when I see it, and I really like that. So I understand the feeling, and that's why we do stuff like that. It is to inspire. It is to create a sense of, this is something that sometimes can gather a nation around its military, and also just stand by. Sorry about that. It's our cat that really wants to come in here. It scratches the
That's that's a human side of a fighter pilot.
It is. The cat wants to come in, but I think the kids will take it now. So no, but I mean, we were very surprised about the reaction we had when we did the fly past of Buenos Aires, and I think I understand now. I wasn't that aware of the entire history behind it all and why it meant so much. We understand now, and especially I do, because I'm usually the one who talks to the press and to media, and I have some social media profiles and stuff like that as well. So all that affection was thrown towards me. We were a lot of pilots on the team, and because I'm the only one in public, people see a chance to tell me how glad they are, how happy they are about this. So I was really overwhelmed by the attention, and also humbled by it, because it was way too much. But it was also really, really satisfying to deliver 6 jets that meant so much to the Argentinian people. So a very historic mission, and I can watch that all day. So, I like that, and we were so lucky. The weather was beautiful. We came in 6 jets. All of them worked perfectly. We flew the day after we arrived, and it was a great day.
Well, Theo, thank you very much once again, and looking forward to see you sometime here in Argentina.
Thank you very much. I really hope to be back to see the beautiful country again, and also maybe have a look at the jets again.
Yes.